There are places in the world that feel cold and out of place. There are scenes that make you crumple into sand. There are things still left untold. Some things make you question grace, but don't you let them get life out of hand. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. I can only see the now, and it makes me ask how come life never handed me a silver spoon. Truth is I never bowed, only gave to you my song. Yet you called me out and brought me in your room. In your house I find real peace. In your house I find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. It is a house not made with hands, not built or forged by man. It is simply only God and God alone. And He welcomes all who come with His arms so full of love. So come and let yourself be undone. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best.
Word up, word up, word up, word up. Pew, pew, pew. Morning. Hopefully everyone's doing good. Hopefully you're doing fantastical. Feeling okay today. Feeling okay today. Um, I had a lot of times it's whatever I do that might exasperate it. So yesterday was a fairly chill day, kind of. Today's not going to be that chill, but yesterday was a chiller, more chill day. However, it did yield some things that we need to talk about. Um, the video we did with Candace Owens and the Charlie Kirk situation yielded some very, very telling comments to the point where it showed me something. I mean, I kind of knew it before, but it really told me something. So we're going to address it today. This walk that we're on, this Christian walk that we're on, is an odd one. And I'll tell you why I think it's odd. It's odd because there's so many people that have a skewed way of reading that I don't know that they're actually reading anymore. I think, I mean, I've said this before, that they read into and not out of the book. But it's more pervasive than I thought. Like mad pervasive, way more than I thought. And I also knew that people picked lines out from the book to match their thought process, but I didn't think it was this bad. I never thought it was going to be this bad. Never. So we're going to look at a few comments um, and kind of make sense of them, or try to. It may not take very long today, but we're going to try and flesh some of them out. Okay. That's a great way of saying it. Quote mining. That's a great way. I'm going to have to put that on a t-shirt. Quit quote mining. Let me write that down. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. Quit quote mining. The book. There you go. I like that. Quote mining. In fact, I love it. I love me some of that. That was one of the best ones I got. That was great. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So we're going to watch this comment here. I don't know her, but I think she's just going through grieving for someone she really loved. Remember, who are we to judge others? Let's stop right there. We are the body, and we are indeed called to judge. Otherwise, he wouldn't say by your fruit, because that's a judgment statement. He wouldn't tell you, because I know people love to misquote this one too, judge not, lest ye be judged. He also goes on, because they love to stop right there, for by the same measure which you judge, you shall be judged. It didn't say not to ever judge. It says to judge by the measure you're okay being judged with. Again, if y'all can't read, that's not my problem. That's your problem. That sounds like a you issue, not a me issue. So that's who we are to judge. Judgment starts in the house. I don't know how y'all miss this stuff, but apparently you do. Only God can do that. Only God knows your heart, full stop. I never said I knew her heart. I know the actions. The actions is that you're saying something about the dead that you don't know anything about. Second thing about the judging, by the way, with the eye, beam, and dust thing, it actually tells you can indeed judge the person after you've addressed yours. Just so you know, don't judge the beam in somebody's eyes when you got the speck in somebody while you got a beam in yours. Remove the beam from your eye. So when I move my beam, I can judge your speck. See how that goes? I can still judge. So just so you know, we can indeed judge. It's biblical. So stop with the crap that you can't judge nothing. Shut up, learn something, and you might actually help yourself. Okay? Just so you know. Just because she decides to interact with others that have gone through anything in their lives sexually or whatever doesn't make it right for us to judge them. You see how retarded these people are? Like for real. Like I'm not pulling any punches today, by the way, just so y'all know. I'm calling them what they are. Just straight up today. Straight up today, no chasers at all, straight up. Y'all are retarded. Have no fellowship. It's that simple, apparently. Remember what Jesus said, whoever hath no sin, let him cast the first stone. John 8:7. Brian, would that be a what do you call it? A quote mining statement there? Would that be quote mining? I don't know. We bare knuckling this today, Chris. I'm bare knuckling this today. Bare knuckles, no gloves at all today. Straight right hooks all day. Also, God actually used people in the Bible as a vessel through dreams. For example, Joseph and Daniel. As far as worrying, yes, God says not to worry, but we are only the amount of contradictions in her statement is insane. If you don't want to listen to her, then don't. I feel like you're just trying to make money off this. There's better ways to spread the good news of the gospel. You could spend your time better off not watching and contributing to the mayhem you think I am doing. But no, Jeanette, you decided that what would be best is to watch it, then take more time to comment than to say, I'm not watching anymore and sign off. No. Your remedial behind says, you know what's the best thing to do? Watch it, and I doubt you did this, but you might have. Watch the entire thing. Then say, I'm just trying to make money off this. Meanwhile, Candace is making millions. That's completely fine. Me not actually making money off of it, that's different. I'm making money. I noticed you didn't quote a verse that says I shouldn't be making money off of it, but hey, let me know if there's a verse out there. You might have one to put that in there as well. Just let me know if there's a verse for that. And there are better ways to spread the news of the gospel. There's much better ways. I don't see you using it though. Find that kind of odd. But again, this new age, modern Christianity of be docile, be aloof, don't judge. Y'all need to love everything. Love. Peace, peace, peace. Don't bring anything up about nobody's. No. Everybody's sinning. It's all sin. It's okay. You don't need to judge anybody because everybody's in the same boat. Except then you call out somebody that's a pedophile, if you don't like them. But if there's pedophilia on the side that you do like them, you won't call that out. So number two, let's go to the second guy. The second one. This one was even better. Debating whether someone is in heaven is the least of my concern. Ain't nobody debating who's in heaven. Literally, no one on that program that day debated as to who was in heaven, ever. We debate who's saved for sure because you can tell by their fruit, but who's in heaven? Who was debating that? You obviously don't have two ears for the reasons that they were made. They're decoration for you because you don't ever use them. Scripture is clear that salvation is by God's grace alone. Okay, but who was debating that? Nobody. What matters more is discernment, especially in what we choose to watch or listen to. Whether everything Candace says is factually accurate or not, it's clear we're living in a world that dismisses the reality of spiritual war. So let me get this right. I don't care if she's lying or not, or if she's got facts on her side. Who cares about that? So what if she doesn't have the facts? So what if she doesn't say what's true? No one cares about that. What really matters is that there are spiritual war. The lying is part of that spiritual war, moron. What? You're listening actively to a liar, and the lies are coming from the person involved in the spiritual war, but you don't care about that because of spiritual war. I don't know how you guys function on a day-to-day basis. Like, I really don't know how you tie your shoes, pull your pants up. I don't know how you manage those things. Because I'd be worried about you. Evil thrives by creating division and dulling discernment, so the focus should be on the bigger picture, not the theatrics. Just a thought. What if the theatrics are actually selling the deception? Do you care then? No? Don't focus on the theatrics. But also do not focus on the fact that they might be lying. No. Focus on something else that's a result of the lying, but make sure you don't mention the lying. That's You see how stupid this individual is. I hope y'all are reading this as remedially as I am, because I'm still trying to make sense of it. But maybe that's my problem. I'm trying to make sense of it. I think that there it is. That's my issue. I think it should make sense. They don't have that. Apparently, anyway. We are called to pursue justice with humility, discernment, and love, not vengeance, outrage, or self-righteousness. Is that true? We are called to pursue justice with humility. Let me see this here. Let's see where that is. So it's in Dute of Deuteronomies. Okay. Let's see if that is truth of Deuteronomies. You shall follow what is altogether just, that you may live and inherit the land which the Lord has given you. Let me see if there's another statement that says pursue justice. Is that what she said? I want to make sure I get her quote right. We are called to pursue justice with humility. Humility verse. Let's see. I'm going to look this up. No, I don't see that anywhere. Anybody can tell me if that's true? And anyone help me out? Remember, I'm the dummy. I'm the dummy. I don't be knowing nothing. Thank you, Connie. I don't be knowing nothing. I'm the dummy. You see what I mean by the new age stuff, right? We are to pursue justice with humility, discernment, and love, not vengeance, outrage, or selfish righteousness. Oh, justice is seeking the truth, in my view, then let God do the rest. Justice is seeking truth, in my view, your view, then let God do the rest. But you just said, who cares if she has the truth? So hold on. You edited this too, so you went through and read it twice. You read this twice, possibly 3 times. Edited it. Let me say that again. You wrote it, reread it, edited it, and still sounded stupid. That's amazing. What? That is wow. That's different. That is different. You say you need to justice is seeking truth, while at the same time saying what matters more is discernment, especially when we choose what we listen to, whether Candace is actually factually accurate or not. So you don't care about truth, but you do care about truth, in your opinion and in your view. I don't know. This kind of stuff hurts my head in all kinds of ways, like it is wild that these people, I get, but I understand. I do understand, and I'll get into why I understand it here in a second. Let's go see what James had to say. Now, James is an odd duck, because I was not even addressing James in an original comment I made. James just decided to chime in because James got an alert that somebody replied to a comment thread, and James thought that I was having interaction with him. Well, I'm speaking what I want, and I think you're divisive towards me because of my opinion. I just feel like attacking this person is wrong, because this thing going on is much bigger than her and Charlie, Kirk, and Erica, or whatever. Yeah, I know you get paid to do this. Something just seems to be missing. That's all I can say. Well, what's missing? 1, and who told you to shut up? I didn't talk to you. But again, offense will be found where offense should be found. And it's always with these people is don't you and don't do that and don't you shouldn't you that's not right. Don't you, but they won't tell you where in the word any of their statements are coming from. They won't, they refuse to. Then we have even these. This is one of the best ones. If I hadn't read the Bible myself, I would have believed this dude, but thank God anyone can read it for themselves. So he goes to Samuel. Samuel comes from the dead with a message for King Saul. No need to listen to this clown. Let's do him a solid, shall we? We're gonna help this man out. He's from Africa, it looks like. Um, let's get this one on the road here. Okay. Now he gave because I'm the dummy. We're gonna go to First Samuel chapter 28. Okay. And he says in verse 12 through 15. So let's go to 12 through 15. In fact, you know what? Let's do it even better. We're gonna go higher. We're gonna go higher. We're gonna go to verse 4. You know what? No, go to 3. We'll go to 3 because I want to make sure I get the whole picture because he's right. You need to read. We need to read. Now Samuel had died, and all of Israel had lamented for him and buried him in Ramah, in his own city. And Saul put the mediums and the spiritists out of the land. Then the Philistines gathered together, and came and encamped at Shunem. So Saul gathered all Israel together, and they encamped at Gilboa. When Saul saw the armies of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart trembled greatly. And when Saul inquired of the Lord did not answer him, either by dreams, or by Urim, or by the prophets. Please keep that in mind, because this monkey believes somehow that he read the Bible for himself and that Saul and Samuel's interaction was God-given. Please remember that this remedial one believes that. I just want to make sure we have this right because he reads the Bible. Maybe it might be maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Then Saul said to his servants, find me a woman who is a medium that I may go to her and inquire of her. Now, y'all remember Saul's story? Y'all remember his story of how rebellious he actually was when it came to God? How stubborn, how he even came into power. Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember that one? You remember that the people wanted a king? So he just said, all right, fine, take him. There you go. That's your king. It's not one I'm picking, but y'all want that, so go ahead, have it. Remember that one? Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm the remedial one, but tell me if I'm wrong or right on that, please. Before I go any further, please tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. I can't wait for this. Please tell me. Am I wrong? Am I getting stories confused? Am I mixing and matching? Am I quote mining the Bible? Please tell me. Oh, okay, good. All right. I want to make sure I was, on point here. Nobody wants to be wrong. All right. So it continues. And his servant said to him, in fact, there is a woman who is a medium at Endor. So Saul disguised himself. This is how he knows that stuff was wrong. This is how you know you're doing something you ain't supposed to do. You got to hide. This dude had to hide to go do this, okay? Now remember, he already talked to God. God didn't answer him. God didn't answer him in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Zip, zilch. God ain't this, all right? He didn't answer him by dream. He didn't answer him by Urim or prophets, nothing. All right, cool. We get that right. All right, good. So Saul disguised himself and put on other clothes, and he went, and 2 men went with him, and they came to the woman by night, and he said, please conduct a seance for me, and bring up for me the one I shall name to you. Then the woman said to him, look, you know what Saul has done, how he has cut off the mediums and the spiritists from the land. Why Then do you lay a snare for my life to cause me to die? Even the witch knows I ain't supposed to be doing this, Saul. What is wrong with you? Can you imagine talking to God? God don't talk to you. You decide you're going to talk to a witch. And the witch who don't follow God say, bro, why are you trying to get me killed, man? What is wrong with you? Why? Saul, and obviously didn't know what's up, but why are you trying to get me? What's wrong with you? She even knows. All right, cool. And Saul swore to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord lives, no punishment shall come upon you for this thing. Saul didn't hear from God. Everything he's doing is wrong. Every last bit of this. And this is what this clown is quoting to me about him reading the book. He said he read this. Saul consulted with God. God didn't talk to him. Saul goes to talk to a witch, convinces the witch to do what he wants because he knows he's Saul. He's not going to bring any judgment on her. Swears by the Lord who didn't answer him. Then the woman says, okay, whom shall I bring up for you? And he said, bring up Samuel for me. When the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman spoke to Saul, saying, why have you deceived me? For you are Saul. And the king said to her, don't be afraid. What did you see? And the woman said to Saul, I saw a spirit ascending out of the earth. So he said to her, what is his form? And she said, an old man is coming up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed down. Now Samuel said to Saul, why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? And Saul answered, I am deeply distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God has departed from me and does not answer me anymore, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called you, that you may reveal to me what I should do. And Samuel said, so why do you ask me? Oh. See, when y'all tell me that the Bible ain't full of jokes, y'all are lying. Samuel's hilarious. Samuel said, what are you asking me for? Why are you coming? Why are you asking me, seeing as the Lord has departed from you and you became his enemy? What? Why are you coming to me, bro? This is his definition of God and people interacting with the dead because God ordained it, right? Okay. Precisely, Sam, but what's wrong with you? Like, oh my goodness. Let's see what else he say. Say, you became, and he became your enemy. The Lord has done for himself as he spoke by me, for the Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hand and given it to your neighbor David, because you didn't obey the voice of the Lord, nor execute his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore, the Lord has done this thing to you this day. Now, please remember who the witch brought up. It wasn't some random dude. Wasn't just a regular guy. This was Samuel. Okay, Samuel. This was no fly-by-night prophet. This was one of them big dog prophets. Okay, all right. Major prophets is what they might call. He one of them big boys, right? The big boy. All right, cool. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with you into the hand of the Philistines. So don't come talking to me. You're done. Okay, you're done. And tomorrow you and your sons will be with me, and the Lord will also deliver the army of Israel into the land of the Philistines. How do you like that now? Leave me alone. Let me go back to sleep. Shut up, bro. Move. You out here trying to convince people that you read, right, clown? Because you're the real clown. You come out here. You tell me, this is the verse. You obviously didn't read diddly squat about this. Samuel out here consulting mediums, witches, to bring up a dead man, a prophet. God doesn't say, I'm not answering Saul. I'm done with you. We ain't talking. Saul decided he gonna go and do this, and Samuel pop up and say, bro, listen, hey, whoa. For all that you say you want, witch or no witch, Samuel is still Samuel. He was what he was in life, and God still got all of his people. Prophet. Big difference in someone like Charlie Kirk. Not a prophet, didn't come with any prophetic word. There was nothing prophetic about Charlie Kirk. Stop with the nonsense. Okay? Stop. He definitely wasn't no Samuel. So stop with the bullcrap right off the top. He was not Samuel. He was not Elisha. He was not Elijah. He was not Moses. He wasn't Aaron. He wasn't any of those people. He was a dude. And the one example in the book of a dead person talking spoke against the person that brought them up. And they brought them up by means outside of God. And that's your proof that the dead talk. Y'all are wild, really wild, and stupid at the same time. So Samuel absolutely slaps him across the fence. Nope, you dead tomorrow, bro. God done washed his hands of you. You didn't want God. He told you to do something. You didn't do it. It's David's turn now. Immediately, Saul fell full length on the ground and was dreadfully afraid because of the words of Samuel, and there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no food all day and all. He worried. This man is freaking out right now. This thing is tearing him up cat dog raggedy. He don't know what to do with himself. You done talk to God. He ain't talking to you. Going to talk to a witch. The witch said, what you trying to do to me? The witch then said, you lying to me. You had me bring up this dude? Of all the people you wanted me to bring up, Samuel? Of all the people. Okay, cool. And the woman came to Saul and saw that he was severely troubled. And she said to him, look, your maidservant has obeyed your voice, and I have put my life in your hands and heeded your words, which you spoke to me. Now, therefore, please heed also the word of your maidservant, and let me set a piece of bread before you and eat, that you may have strength when you go on your way. But he refused. I will not eat. So his servants, together with the woman, urged him, and he heeded their voice, and he rose from the ground and sat in the bed. Now the woman had a fatted calf in the house and hastened to kill it, and she took flour and kneaded it and baked unleavened bread from it. So she brought it before Saul and his servants, and they ate, and they rose, and they went away that night. So I'm supposed to read. So I read it. And if it did anything, it made you look more like a fool than anything you could have typed. Fatted calf. I just don't get y'all, man. I really don't. And then we finish with, when all else failed, you say this. Y'all sound dumb as I don't know what ASL means. I'm not hip to all the black jargon and remedial talk. Y'all not God. Not even an apostrophe with the YALL. No, just y'all. YALL. One word. That's a word now. Y'all sound all. You all sound dumb. ASL. Y'all all sound dumb. Y'all not God. Listen, Shaniqua, let me give you some advice. Finish high school. Maybe daddy didn't tell you, but finish high school. I'm an old head. I'm one of them they call unks now. Finish high school, okay? Go back, start at the beginning, and finish high school. Your looks will be gone in about 20 years. Now, I know they say black don't crack, but you look like you put a second face on to cover the blacks that's cracking. So finish high school. Y'all not God. No, we're not. No, nor has anyone ever claimed to be God. No one on this platform, no one in the comment section ever claimed to be God. But again, these are the kinds of people that don't actually read the book. But what they do have is the modern version of Christianity. What's the modern version of Christianity? The don't judge. God has got blessings for me. God gonna make me rich. Um, God accepts everybody. Let me see another good one. Everybody's a sinner. Um, I think that's about the majority of it. Yeah, that's the modern gospel. So, in other words, when you become a Christian in their world, you park all semblance of logic, you park all semblance of common sense, and you park for sure any reading. You definitely don't abide by the book. You say stupid stuff like you're for truth, but it doesn't matter if someone lies. Unless, of course, they lie by a way that you don't believe, then it's a definite lie. But if the lie lines up with your belief, don't worry about that, because in the end, it's all good. In essence, they don't really want Christianity. What they want is their way and a way to use God to solidify their way. Yeah. They want a way to use God to solidify their way and say that God approves. He doesn't approve. He asked you countless times to judge. I'll give you an example. In Matthew 7, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but they are inwardly ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. That's a judgment statement, by the way. Because if I see the fruit, then I can judge that something is wrong about them. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? How else would you know if you don't judge the plant? Dummies out there. Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit, and you won't know the bad tree till you see the bad fruit. It's a judgment call. Always judge a book by its cover, because that's the only way you're going to know whether the book worth reading. That's why they make so much emphasis to check the cover. You can go ahead and judge the book by its cover. Nothing wrong with judging the book by its cover. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Therefore, by their fruits, you will know them. Let's go to the other one. Back to Matthew. Okay, we're going right back to Matthew, the same chapter, but earlier on, near the top. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. And why do you look for the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? Stop right there, right? No, it says, hypocrite, first remove the plank from your own eye, then you will clearly see to remove the speck from your brother's eye. We can judge. Don't bring your stupid crap. You can't judge. We shouldn't. I'm gonna judge. I'm judging. I'm a judgy McJudgerson. I'm judging all day long. What? You show up, it's going to be a judge fest. Everywhere going to be here a judge, there a judge, everywhere a judge. I'm judging. I'm judging the mess out of you. Let's go to now the statements made in this part of their statement about the sexual things of people, and you shouldn't worry about that. Let's go to what it really says. Ephesians 5, verse 11, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. So don't tell me I shouldn't be doing this, whether it's for money or not. For it is shameful to even speak of those things which are done by them in secret. So the woman's, Jeanette's comment was this: only God can judge. Just because she decides to interact with others who have gone or are going through anything in their lives sexually or whatever doesn't make it right for us to judge them. This is how stupid you people really are. You moronic idiots. You remedial, non-reading Satanists. I don't have to have time for you, but I got time today. Y'all don't read. You do not read. It is shameful to even speak of those things which are done by them in secret, but all things that are exposed are made manifest by the light, for whatever makes manifest is light. Awake, you who sleep, arise from the dead, and Christ will give you light. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is, and do not be drunk with wine, which is with dissipation, but be filled with the Spirit, speaking to one another in psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord, giving thanks for all things to God the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. But not Jeanette. It don't matter if she's talking to people about their sexual stuff. It's all good. We can't be judging. It's simple as that. So let's go to one of the verses she mentioned again, because you know what? We don't go through all of them. We don't want to be playing this game where people don't, they bring up something and I don't address it. I want to address the whole thing. Again, I'm smoking today. I got time. I have time today. So let's go to this statement about the casting of the stone. Let's go to there. John 8. Jesus went down from the Mount of Olives. Now early in the morning, he came down into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought him a woman caught in adultery. And then when he had set them in the midst, they said to him, Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very act. Now, Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say? They said this to test him, that he might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear. Never tells you what he wrote down, by the way. So then they continued asking him. He raised himself up and said to them, He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first. That's the context, by the way. He's speaking to a very specific group. What's that group? The Pharisees. Oh, what were they notorious for? What were they notorious for? What were the Sadducees and the Pharisees oh, they were notorious for making themselves better than everybody else, right? Kind of find that crazy. I find you don't find that kind of weird that he's addressing people who thought themselves better than everybody else. Okay. Not just random people on the street. No, no, no. Specifically the Pharisees. Okay. He said, he who is without sin, let him throw the first stone. And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Then those who heard it, being convicted in their conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest, even to the last. Then Jesus was left alone with the woman. They don't like this part, though. Went to the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said, "Woman, where are your accusers of yours?" She said, "Has no one condemned you?" She said, "No one, Lord." And he said to her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." Then Jesus spoke to them again, saying, "I am the light of the world, and he who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life." People do not like reading. Hence why the New Age gospels and the modern gospel and this modern Christianity of love, 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 and harmony and peace with the world and embracing the world, and we're all one and we are the world, is so pervasive. It's so pervasive. Very pervasive. When God tells you that you are set apart, they don't like that. When God tells you you are a holy priesthood because of Christ, they don't like that. When God tells you to have no affiliation, they don't like that. They do not like the reality of what Christ actually stands for. What they want is a malleable one. They want something malleable that they can bring their own thought process and what they want into the mix. That's the modern gospel. And it is everywhere now. Everywhere. You don't have to look very far to see it. I can't say that it has influenced true Christians. It hasn't, because we're not influenced by that nonsense. But we can indeed expose it. And when you do, you're a hypocrite, you are a hater, you don't know what you're talking about. God would never do that, even though the entire Bible is him doing that. For crying out loud, people died in the Old Testament for keeping just a piece of silver that he told you to burn. People lost wars because they disobeyed. We were kicked out of his presence from the garden for disobedience. The ground was cursed because of disobedience. Women were given birth pains because of disobedience. But now we're embracing it. We embrace it now. We don't even want to know what the word says. We thrive on disobedience. We thrive on arrogance and we thrive on ignorance, and we try to use it as an excuse for our actions. I didn't know. No, you didn't want to know. And even when people told you so you could know, you ignored it. You prefer to keep your notions because you love your life more than life itself, which is Christ. That's your problem. You honestly believe that you know God more than God knows God. That's your problem. You think you're God. It's why people can think, "Oh, you know what? I saved me so I can lose me." At the end of the day, we are facing an epidemic, but the epidemic isn't so unavoidable as we might think. It's easy to avoid by staying the course. The course is staying grounded, rooted in the word. It's that simple. Put yourself aside for the cause of Christ. Your wants, your needs are irrelevant to Christ's. What he says is what goes. It's pretty cut and dry. It's not really that complicated. It might be difficult for some to swallow because they want what they want, but it is not complicated. Otherwise, you're saying that God lied. When the word says that his yoke is easy and his burden is light, you're telling me that it's difficult to follow him. You're telling me that God lied. Well, if that's how you believe it, that's how you believe it. All the idiots that made their comments, including Jeanette and Brittany and James, all you remedial people. Look, y'all believe what you want. Ain't nobody trying to convince you at all. Anybody got time to convince you? That we have no time to convince you because you don't want to be convinced. You are not seeking to be convinced. You are seeking to be proven right for the way you think. And if you want to be right in your own understanding. There's a verse that talks about that too, by the way. So let's go to that real quick to end. And ironically, it's in Romans. Okay, that's so funny. That's in Romans. Romans chapter 1, the very first one. Professing to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man and birds and four-footed animals and creeping things. Therefore, God also gave them up to the uncleanness and the lusts of their heart to dishonor their bodies among themselves. Do what you want to do. Who exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshiped and served the creature rather than Creator, who is blessed forever. For this reason, God gave them up to the vile passions, for even their women exchanged the natural use of what is against nature. Likewise, the men also, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men committing what is shameful, and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error which was due. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind to do those things which are not fitting, being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, evil-minded. They are whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, violent, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, undiscerning, untrustworthy, unloving, unforgiving, unmerciful, who, knowing the righteous judgment of God, that those who practice such things are deserving of death, not only do the same, but also approve of those who practice them. So do what y'all want. Do whatever you want. Boo, boo, do you. Accept them in your churches, put them in your pulpits, approve of them, give them license, say God loves them as they are, say all that stuff that the Bible don't say and claim it to be God. And then watch what happens when all comes down to an end. And then you'll be like, but, ain't no but no more. Ain't no but no more. Have your way with your modern Christianity. Have it. Ain't nobody trying to stop you from it. God tried. You didn't want that, so have at it. I ain't trying to override what God doing at all. I'm not touching. I'm not doing that. You're not going to see me stand in front of no lightning bolt for y'all. No, miss me with that. You were told about the lightning bolt. You decided to stand there. I moved. I'm not coming back in front of the lightning bolt for you. Do I look mental? No, no, no. Enjoy it. That's what you want. Tomorrow, y'all might be interested in this, by the way. Um, there is something interesting happening tomorrow. Okay. Um, but it's not at the regular time of straight talk. So I won't be on in the morning. However, later that afternoon at around 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be online with a debate, and that debate is uh, is this conversation right here. Okay, this is the thing happening tomorrow. Um, I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'll be able to stream it on my channel or not. I'm working out the details of that, or if I'll have to do it after by downloading it and then putting it up on my channel. We'll see if which one works out. But this is the debate tomorrow. Um, I'm not going to lose my cool, so don't worry about it. You're not going to see this version of me on there. Um, I'll be happy and I'll be jovial. I will take my medication beforehand so that I'm really mellow. No promise. I'll take my medication. I'll be medicated so I don't get overstimulated. Okay. Um. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I have a very specific set of questions I have to ask, and I don't have any much to offer. I mean, I believe what I believe, so you know, it is what it is. So he wants to have the discussion about the salvation issue, and I think you already know how I stand on that. I don't see why I'd be looking for a way to get out of it. So I mean, I'm not talking about debate. I'm talking about salvation. I don't see why I'm even trying to find a way, think of a way that I can be out. If anything, I'm gonna be working so hard to try and stay in. So if I'm gonna fight on my own accord with my own energy, it's gonna be finding a way to stay in, not to figure out how I'm gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even concerned about that. So hey, look, tomorrow is my wife's birthday as well. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. I'm not gonna tell you how old she will be. She gonna punch me in the face if I do that. I'm not doing that. But she's not 34. She will not be 34. She'll be a little bit more mature than 34. So yeah, I did write a song for her. The words anyway. Um, and I was pleased with it because when I first met, I'll give you a backstory because I feel like it. And tomorrow is her birthday. When I first met her as an adult, because I knew her as a child, she didn't know me, but I knew her as a child. She was my first crush ever. My very first crush was my wife now. I was 9. I was 9. Yeah, those were good days. She knew my whole family. She just didn't know who I was. But anyway, I digress. Um, when I first met her as an adult, um, I called her my desert rose. Okay, because her life was really hard, but she still thrived. You know, she still tried to make the best of life, even though she had been through literal hell and had been in it for a long time, and there was no watering, nothing. There was no support system around her entire life at all. So that's what I called her, my desert rose. And so I made the song, and that was the gist of the song, and um, it turned out to be a pretty good one. I was pretty happy with it. Um, can't say I can complain about it. Really, it turned out really good. Turned out really good. I think y'all are like, it's premiering tomorrow, so I don't even need to go live. In fact, let me change the premiere time. I probably should do that. I'm going to change the premiere time because I think it's due to premiere at what time is it premiering? Um, what time is this premiering? Cancel. No. What time? What time is it? Oh, 8 a.m. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, 8 a.m. is perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So it'll start at 8 a.m. my time, which is 11 o'clock your Eastern. Okay. It'll be on my channel and on her channel. Okay. Because I want both streams to see it. But yeah, tomorrow's her birthday. So, and she has to work on her birthday, unfortunately. But her friend is coming in from out of town and to hang out with her at least when she gets off work that night. So, yeah, she does have a big support system now. That's the beauty of God. He works, and when he moves and finally gets you into his family, it's a big family. It's a really big family. It's a beautiful family. All right. Her channel is the secret place. Um, I'll grab you the link real quick so you guys can go check it out. Yeah, it's called The Secret Place. I'm gonna grab that link real quick, y'all. Real quick, y'all. View channel. Grab this. Copy. There it is in the comment section there. Feel free to go subscribe if you haven't already. She's going to start doing content more often. It's just a matter of getting time, and we're still in the moving process and all that stuff. But once we have a better system, because I'll tell you this, coming downstairs to do this and it's cold down here, I don't blame her anymore for wanting to not do it, because it is a test. So yeah. Yep. Anyhow, scrolling at the bottom, y'all know what to do. Hey, if you want to send her something for her birthday, feel free to do it. I'll make sure I get it to her, even though it's all I'll make sure I send it to her. I did manage though to scrape up some stuff to get her a nice little coat, because she likes to steal mine. That's really in honest. It wasn't because I cared. It really because she kept stealing my warm jacket. In fact, all my kids kept taking my jacket, but her in particular. I just So I said, you know what? I'm gonna get you one, the same kind that's really warm. So now she has a nice warm one. She won't need to steal my big bulky one. I mean, everybody takes my clothes anyway, so I just want something. I'm gonna start buying clown clothes so nobody takes my stuff. No, it's not a goose jacket. I don't know what's inside, but it's one of them Canada jackets. Somebody bought it for me like 5 years ago. Best stinking jacket in the world. You don't feel cold in this thing, no matter what you couldn't feel cold. I can have the front open and I'd still be warm. That's how great it is. That's how great it is. She does, but I don't know what it is offhand, and I don't want to put it up there. If you want, like I said, I can just transfer it for her. If you want to send it to me, I'll send it to her. You can trust me. You can trust me, okay? It's not like I'm not like them where they take my stuff. I'm not going to do that. No, of course not. I would never. I would never. What? No. Me? Just because they do it, I don't mean I would. I would never do that. Ever. Something in my eye. I don't know what that's going on there. So you send it to me. I will make sure she gets it. I'll make sure. I promise. In some way or fashion, she gonna get it. I promise. She gonna get it. I promise. I promise. Kinda. I mean, she will. She will. It's just okay. Look. Listen. All right. Hear me out. What's hers is mine, and mine is mine. Okay. So just understand. All right. Okay. Anyway. Love y'all, mean it. So tune in tomorrow. I'll try and put the link to the debate on my post page once I get it, if I can't stream it. And if I am able to stream it, you'll see it. So, all right. Love y'all, mean it. Have an amazing rest of your day. And I'll catch you guys on Savage Patriots later today. Have a discussion. 6:30 Eastern PM. Wisdom calls to you from the streets. Please, 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 please find wisdom.
There are places in the world that feel cold and out of place. There are scenes that make you crumple into sand. There are things still left untold. Some things make you question grace. But don't you let them get life out of hand. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. I can only see the now, and it makes me ask how come life never handed me a silver spoon. Truth is I never bowed, only gave to you my song. Yet you called me out and brought me in your room. In your house I find real peace. In your house I find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. It is a house not made with hands, not built or forged by man. It is simply only God and God alone. And He welcomes all who come with His arms so full of love. So come and let yourself be undone. In your house I find real peace. In your house we find the least. In your house the weary enter into rest. In your house is true release. In your house is warmth and ease. In your house is where life truly is the best. In your